you had a view of Mrs. Luper on TV the other evening, and wasn't she delighted to see? Well, I just want to share something with you for just a few minutes. It recreates what actually happened. It is a heartwarming, amazing, true story demonstrating patience, spiritual strength. However, there is much more to Clara Luper than a sparkling success as a civil rights NAACP worker. She has wisdom, wit, honesty, and a rare sense of humor. Her love for people perhaps is her greatest asset. Clara Luper, yes, she's the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Ezell Shepherd, was born in a rural area in Fusky County in the state of Oklahoma, reared in Hoffman, Oklahoma. She received her BA degree at Langston University in Langston, Oklahoma. Her MA degree from the University of Oklahoma in Norman, Oklahoma. She is the winner of now when this book was purchased or when it was written, she had received over 159, I'm sure it's over 500 awards and citations. She has participated in the freedom rides and marches all over this United States, including the march on Washington, D.C., and the march from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama. She's been arrested. Now, I want you to hear this because she told y'all to stay out of jail. She's been arrested 26 times. In the sit-in movement, she was arrested. But she wasn't arrested for stealing or lying or killing anybody. Arrested to make things better for you and I. Now, this book here, I want you to get this book. The title of it is Behold the Walls. And you will get an opportunity to see what actually happened. First-hand information from Mrs. Clara Luper. Yes, a great lady here in Oklahoma City. She's so great until at the Redeemed Missionary Baptist Church, we had an opportunity that somebody had to portray her in our Black History program. But I think it is so wonderful that we still have people in the land of the living who has laid a great milestone. So what I want us to continue to do for Mrs. Luper, pray for her. I said when I saw her on TV the other night, this lady has done a whole lot of things, but she doesn't go around shouting it from the housetop. She just wants us to be better people and for us to get involved, love each other, and above all, love God. And if we love God, we'll love each other. Calvin is standing here smiling, and I'm getting ready to give Miss Luper her seat. But I wanted to share that with you, and I want you to get this book. The purpose of this book is to present the straightforward, challenging way, the true story of America's longest individual sit-in, and it involves meant that followed. This book is a combination of original text, interpretation felt at the time of the incident. It is focused on nonviolence and on a movement which is interwoven in the history and development of Oklahoma. This book is intended for those who are seeking first-hand information through the eyes of those that were on the scene when it actually happened. Finally, it is intended to renew our faith in people, in the God of the universe. It is only through the grace of God that Mrs. Luper's life has been spared in order that she could write such a true story. God bless you, Miss Luper, my teacher. I love you. Have a great day.
Thank you so very kindly. What can I say? This is a Clara Luper radio show, and today's show is being brought to you by Gates Barbershop, located at 2609 North Martin Luther King in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Thank you, Geraldine. Thank you so very kindly, and I'm so happy that she's one of mine. Gates Barbershop is located at 2609 North Martin Luther King Avenue in Oklahoma City, and it's time now for you to go to Gates and get that haircut. He can cut it any way you want it. If you want an old-fashioned one, he can give you one. If you want a modern, he will do that. Gates Barbershop, 2609 North Martin Luther King in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Today is my Black History special, and it is special because this is Black History Month. I would have to start off by thanking all of you you that filled Fifth Street Baptist Church on last Sunday as we celebrated Black History Month. It's a continuous thing because all this month at Fifth Street and other churches we have been celebrating Black History Month. Last week was something special. I told you about the programs, but what I did not tell you that Mrs. Artie Hopkins and Miss Sonia Motley presented to Mrs. Lucille Williams our Black History Award for 1998. Mrs. Lucille Williams, an outstanding Christian, member of the choir, the church secretary, and what a job she does. Oh, I could say so much, but I'm not going to. The only thing I'm going to tell you is that Mrs. Lucille Williams was surprised on last Sunday when she received the highest Black History Award that Fifth Street had to offer. I would like to congratulate her family because the family was there, and congratulations to the people at Fifth Street Baptist Church and a large number of visitors that were present on last Sunday. That was an old-fashioned dinner, and it was something. It was the most beautiful dinner that we have ever had, and I would like to congratulate Mrs. Zachary and her fine dinner committee. Now, those of you are still talking about the stones, and there was a question at our church as our theme this year for Black History. What mean you by these stones? And those of you that were there, you saw those 12 stones, and those stones will remain there until February 1998 will fade into history. Tomorrow, Reverend Gregory W. Jones from Starkville, Mississippi, will be preaching. He's a graduate of the American Baptist College in Nashville, Tennessee. He directed the African American Affairs at the Baptist Student Union at Mississippi State University. He worked for FAST, where he was a facilitator, and that's for the Starkville School District. He is a proud pastor of the Greater Ebenezer Baptist Church in Starkville, Mississippi. And those of you that are interested, and those of you who aren't going to anybody's church tomorrow, why don't you go out and hear Reverend Gregory Jones? This is Black History Month, and we are going to hear from all of you out in Radio Land. The organization that gives scholarships every year, number 147 of the Oklahoma Eastern Stars, the Evelyn J. Robertsons, number 147 Oklahoma Eastern Star, is sponsoring a bean supper today. And they will start selling those beans at 11:30 a.m. at 2830 Northeast 23rd Street. Now, they will be serving them at the Madison House. Good old pinto beans with Polish sausage, hamburger meat, and assorted seasoning, coleslaw, cornbread of all kinds. Name it and they have it. And then they have homemade peach cobbler, iced tea, and fruit. You will have a choice. Either you'll get iced tea or fruit punch. You can get plenty of meat in the beans, and that good old meat in the beans. You may place an order by calling 427-6751. Let me repeat that. 427-6751. Mrs. Mary L. Boone, Miss Juanita Wiles, Mrs. Esther Pickens. I better give you some telephone numbers. You can call Mrs. Wiles at 733-3413. Mrs. Boone at 424-1424. Ms. Pickens at 424-1825 in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Don't forget Gideon 300, located at 6006 South Western. In conjunction with the Black Economic Times, the Minority Business Advertising, and the Oklahoma Black Merchants Association, they will be holding a symposium today from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock at the Greater Oklahoma City Higher Education Consortium at the First National Center. Now that's located at 120 North Robertson in Suite 500C in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. There will be someone there talking about African civilization, opportunities in Africa, research and opportunities in Africa, and then they will tell you why we should identify with Africa. Participating on the program will be State Representative Toure, LaDonna Miller, Dr. Ganna, and Dr. Adesina. Don't miss it. That's the day from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock at the First National Center in downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. This has been a very busy week with me, and I owe so many people so much. Maybe I should start off by thanking the people at the Kelly Elementary School in Moore, Oklahoma, where I had the opportunity to speak to young people. When I walked in that school, I was overcome with a big sign. This is a school where we respect everyone. And I would like to thank the principal, Mrs. Engel, the teachers, and all. And I would certainly like to thank Miss King for giving me this big opportunity to be with the young people at Moore School. Not only did I have the opportunity this past week to participate at Moore School, I had the opportunity to go to Millwood Middle School, where I saw young people who are truly leaders, who young people of the National Honor Society who saluted their teachers, who saluted each other, and it was really something. And I would like to thank you, young people, for giving me that opportunity. I had the opportunity this past week to sit down with a young lady that has contributed so much to America, Hannah Atkins, where Hannah Atkins and I participated with the Daily Oklahomans E-Line at 9:30 a.m. and we had the opportunity to talk to some 35 schools in the state of Oklahoma, and I really enjoyed it. But I'm going to tell you about last night. But first, I want to hear from Dolly. Dolly?
Good morning, Clara. How are you?
Oh, I am so happy this morning because I got a special dedication this morning, and I've got to tell you about what's going to happen today. You tell me about what's going to happen tomorrow.
Well, I was calling to invite you and the listening Oklahoma City and surrounding communities to our choir concert tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. And this is our Black Heritage concert. And I'm speaking of the Followers of Christ Church, which is located on Northeast 36th Street.
Where on Northeast 36th Street?
This is on 36, and some people call it Staten, some people call it Staten, but it's on Northeast 36 and Staten, and it's right on the corner. And personally, I think it's going to be an excellent concert, and I certainly would like to see you come out, and we're going to have a wonderful time, after which time we're going to have refreshments served. We have a great choir.
What time is that?
3:30 p.m.
Oh, I'll be in Atoka, Oklahoma.
Oh, I'm so sorry, but I hope that the community can come out as many as possible.
I'm sure they will. Now, that will be at 3:30 tomorrow at the Followers of Christ.
Yes, and the choir is in. Well, we practiced a lot, and we're pretty excited about it.
Do you sing in the choir?
Yes, I do, Clara.
Oh, great, great. Now, I know I've known you only as a school teacher that works so hard, but you mean to tell me that you are now singing in a choir?
Well, I'm singing for the Lord. I am not what you'd call an accomplished singer, but I love to sing. And incidentally, before we get off, I'd like to tell you that our minister of music is Antoine Cox.
Oh, really?
Yes, and he's done a marvelous job.
What are some of the songs that you're singing tomorrow?
I want to surprise you.
No, you can't surprise me because I told you I'll be in Atoka. Just give me one song that you're singing. Yes, darling.
Isn't it amazing? And I've got some of the choir members right here.
Okay, I just want to know one song that you're singing tomorrow. Okay, well, anyway, you telling me how great this is.
When I needed you most.
When I needed you most?
When I Needed You Most. And it's such a beautiful song.
What I needed you most?
Yes.
Oh, that
Just
sounds.
when I needed you most.
Just when I needed you
Just when I
most.
needed you most.
Okay, are you all taping your program tomorrow?
I don't think so. I'm really not sure. There's a possibility we will. However, I do have a tape of it from the rehearsals. Would you like for me to save a tape for you?
I really would because I love music. You know, music is in our family.
How's your family, incidentally?
Our family is fine. Shelley just called me this morning. She's in New York City and she wanted to call me and wish Mrs. Lady Ruth Hunter a happy birthday today.
Oh, how nice. Well, you know, you have a wonderful family. I've followed the children since they were small.
And I followed your children too.
And you know that Marilyn is one of my favorite people because she's my all-state insurance representative, so I stay very close to her.
Well, thank you so very kindly, and thank you for calling me and telling my audience, the most intelligent audience in Oklahoma City, about the musical concert tomorrow at the Followers of Christ, and that's Northeast 36 and Staten Drive in Oklahoma City.
Yes.
Okay,
and
then.
Thank you for allowing me to call in.
Oh, you've honored me.
Have a marvelous day.
Well, thank you, thank you,
Love you,
thank you.
Clara.
Thank you. I love you too.
Thank you.
Well, if you love me, baby, prove it to me. And that's what we are saying all over the world. Love, love, love. Today is a very special day, and I would like to dedicate the remainder of this program to Lady Ruth Hunter. Lady Ruth Hunter, this is your day. This is a day that friends will gather at Days Inn, located at 2616 South Interstate 35, to say, Lady, this is your day. This is the day when there will be a celebration just for you. This is a day where you will be welcomed by Elnora and Nigel and David. This is a day when Reverend Harold Davis will give an invocation and Tay Patterson will do an original poem. This is a day that Mike Brown will come to Oklahoma City and sing, I Believe I Can Fly, and certainly Lady Ruth Hunter has done that. But there will be reflections from Dr. Cabana Clark, from Mrs. Thelma Reese Parks, and I want to hear that because Thelma and Letty used to ride to U.S. Grant together, and I know Thelma's going to have something exciting to tell all of us. There will be reflections from Alice Strain, Dorothy Ford, Gloria Matthews, Alma Washington, Dr. Valerie Wynn, Lakeisha Coleman, Nancy Ruth Davis, Reverend Alfred Williams, Leon Neal, Toy Hall Sr., and Dr. Melvin Todd. Yes, it will be reflections, but what do you have to reflect on? Lady Ruth Hunter tells me that she remembers her first day in school where she learned the golden rule. It was in Dunbar District number 111. Letty tells me that she remembers Douglas High School in Chandler, Oklahoma, where she spent 4 exciting years, where she worked hard. She left Chandler High School with her head up, carrying her tubes, wondering what she was to do next. Then on to Langston University. They tell me Lady Ruth Hunter say, "Here I come, Langston." And there she had 4 years of hard, fast fun. But then she made another move. She moved into a classroom to teach others what she had learned in school. She taught at Douglas High School in Lawton, Oklahoma, teaching over 2,998 students. She taught at Douglas High School in Oklahoma City and U.S. Grant High School. What great joy she received out of teaching and serving and fashion and showing others what to do. But Letty has retired now. And she retired knowing that she has touched hundreds and hundreds of young people. Yes, today is her day. And those of you that are attending a birthday luncheon, you have to be there on time. You have to be there on time. Reverend W.B. Parker will be there. He will also give the benediction today. It's going to be something I remember. But you know what? That menu is something else. She's having Chuck's appetizer, Langstonian salad, Stroud dishes baked chicken, Chandler roast beef, Cooper's green beans, Oklahoma City corn, Freedom's mashed potatoes and Coloradians rolls, Lawtonian butter, Stillwater coffee and tea, and then a birthday cake. What a birthday! What a birthday luncheon that's being given by Charles Henry for Lady Ruth Hunter. Calvin, I know I made you hungry when I talked about that food.
Not only me, Mom, I know you made all of the audience out there looking anxious to get to the birthday party to be at 1 o'clock today. So I'm really quite excited about that. I want to say good morning to you. Mrs. Downey really did a fantastic job of that intro. We may have to get her to cut us a tape, don't you think?
Oh, yes, I think so. Langston University Choir will be in concert at Northeast Missionary Baptist Church on tomorrow, February the 22nd, 1998, at 5 p.m. at 3815 North Bartier Road in Forest Park. Dr. William Garcia is a professor of music and chairman of the music department at Langston University. Now, this concert will feature all forms of choral music, including works by Glenn Burley, Hall Johnson, Arnold Sevilla, and Dello Thetford. The university's choir will be there, and the public is invited to attend. Now, this is sponsored by the Black Heritage Committee of the Northeast Missionary Baptist Church. Juanita P. Perry is the committee chairperson. Philip Morris, Phyllis Morris is chairperson of the publicity committee. Reverend Lee Denson is a pastor, and they want you to be there on time. That's tomorrow at 5 p.m. Yes, we are talking about Black history, and this is Black History Month, and I am so excited about it. Not only that, I'm excited about all of you that have given me unbelievable opportunities. Calvin, my schedule runs like I don't know what.
Well, Mom, I know you always have a tight schedule, but it seems to be especially tight this coming week. And I know that we'll get a chance during the course of this program to talk a little more about that. But you never believe who I have on the line now that is anxious to talk to you and anxious to be a part of this show that's celebrating Mrs. Lady Ruth Hunter's birthday.
Who is that?
A young man that has worked with Mrs. Hunter past all his life. He's had an opportunity to work with Mrs. Hunter, but I'll let him tell you who he is. Good morning. How are you doing this beautiful morning?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing, Mr. Luper?
Fantastic, Mr. Star Spencer. Who am I talking with?
You're talking with Brandon Bryant.
Okay. Go ahead. Tell us about it. On this special day that we're celebrating Mrs. Lady Ruth Hunter's birthday.
Okay, well, happy birthday to Miss Hunter. And I'd like to say to my auntie, thank you for helping me get my car fixed up. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Brandon Bryant bringing you your Saturday morning sports page on the Clara Luper Radio Show. In the Olympics, the United States has won 13 medals, including a gold from Tyler Lipinski and a silver from Michelle Kwan in figure skating. In the NBA, Tim Duncan scored 26 points and grabbed 16 rebounds as the Spurs whooped the Mavericks 87-81. The Toronto Raptors ran into a buzzsaw as they lost to the Bulls 123-86. Shaquille O'Neal scored 30 points against the Suns, but the Lakers still got burned 110-103. The Bullets could hold on because Larry Allen's superb play for the Bucks gave them a 108 to 98-point win, and the Supersonics were just as fast, but the Trailblazers were just not as fast because they lost 101 to 95 to the Sonics. In college basketball, OSU got 5 wins in a row as they whooped Texas Tech 83-81 in overtime. Corey Brewer led all scorers on either team as OU whooped Baylor 75-63. Second-ranked Duke beat Clemson 70-66. Fifth-ranked Purdue, who was upset by Iowa 88-69. 13th-ranked South Carolina probably thought that they were going to whoop 16th-ranked Arkansas, but they thought wrong because they lost to the Razorbacks 88-96. And third-ranked Arizona edged on by Oregon State 71-70. In college women's hoops, Hawaii beat Tulsa 69-51. Oral Roberts beat Chicago State 80-56. In football news, Doug Evans of the Packers will be playing with the Panthers next year. because he's been offered a $22.5 million 5-year contract with a $7.5 million signing bonus. In boxing, another wrist injury to Oscar De La Hoya has caused him to postpone his fight once again against Patrick Carpentier. Is he scared or is he really hurt? That is the question. In track and field, Daniel Coleman of Kenya terminated the 5,000-meter indoor record by more than 7 seconds. So once again, this is Brandon Brown bringing all you folks out there in radio land hootin' knockin', Putin talking, which in my language means a good Saturday morning sports page on the Clara Luper radio show. Yo, 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 yo.
Brandon, thank you so much. You know, with that report, and I know everybody out there enjoyed it as much as we do here, and I want to compliment you on what a good job that you're doing as a sports reporter. I have one question, Brandon.
Okay, shoot it.
Who do you think will be in the finals of the NBA this year? Have you made a selection yet?
Well, it's kind of hard due to the tight races.
Well, just give me 2 quick names and tell me about it, and we'll see how well our sports reporter is on predicting the winners and the participants in the NBA Finals.
Well, maybe the Bulls and the Lakers.
Bulls and the Lakers. Okay, we got it down. We'll remember that. Thanks, Brandon, and we'll hear from you next Saturday. We'll see you this Saturday at Mrs. Hunter's birthday party. Okay? Mm-hmm. All righty. Here you go, Mom. Back to you.
Thank you, Calvin. It was a night of nights. Last night at Oklahoma State University in Okmulgee, there was a 6th annual Black History program. It was an evening with Dr. Tommy Stewart. It was an evening. Many of you remember Dr. Tommy Stewart from her performance in movies you saw her in the heat of the night. You should be proud of the fact that you knew Dr. Tommy Harris. Well, last night I had the opportunity to see her perform. It was something. The auditorium was crowded. The mayor of Okmulgee, Oklahoma was there. And you know, being from Okmulgee County, I never believed that I would live long enough to see the mayor of Okmulgee County out saluting black people. Not only that, but Dr. Tommy Stewart surrounded herself with young people. And Calvin, there were so many young people there last night. It was unbelievable. And Dr. Stewart was presented all kinds of awards. I'm going to finish telling you about it.
Who is Dr. Stewart, Mom? Yeah, let's
she's
hold
a
that
singer.
thought. Let's hold that thought when we
okay.
come back to that, because we have a special caller on the line that is anxious to be a part of this special show today. And I'd like to say good morning to you. How are you doing this beautiful morning, sir?
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing? Who am I talking with?
You're talking to Deacon Gates from Tabitha Baptist Church.
Deacon Robert Gates, the best barber in Oklahoma?
That's right.
Okay. How are you? Okay, tell us about it. What's going on?
Oh, okay. Calvin, I feel great this morning because we are in tune of having our pastor's 6th anniversary, which is going to start February the 27th, 1998 at 7:30 p.m. And our guests on Friday night is Greater Mount Olive Baptist Church, St. John Missionary Baptist Church, Paradise Baptist Church, and the Holy United Baptist Church. And Reverend Glenn A. Woodbury will be the guest speaker. And on Sunday morning, we have Reverend Racelius Douglas, of assistant to the pastor over at the Fairview Baptist Church, who will be bringing the message.
Okay.
And at 3 o'clock, we have the Fairview Baptist Church, the Central Baptist Church, Chandler, Greater Bethel Baptist Church, Oklahoma City, Greater Trinity Baptist Church, Charles Douglas, and Reverend New Covenant Baptist Church, Reverend J.O. Bradford. Now, we're in for a treat this year, and we are inviting each and every one of you to come out and bless this man of God who has been with us for the 6 years. Now, you know Brother Mitchell and his family, they are...
Right.
I have a question.
Mom has a question,
Okay.
but I'm listening.
Why are you all giving him an anniversary?
He is worthy to be blessed.
What has he done?
He have brought in over 600 members in 5 years.
Oh, I see.
That's
the reason. It is.
Oh, well, I didn't understand your figures. Did you say 60 or 6?
I said 600.
600 members in how many years?
6 years.
Oh, gracious. That is just, how did he do it? Did he have a rope or something to rope them in?
No, he was following the direction of the Lord, of the Holy Spirit. And if the Holy Spirit is working with you, you can do miraculous things. Now, if you think I'm fibbing about this, pass by the church. A theme which is wonderful. Walking in the Spirit, living in the Word. Coming
Just a
from
minute now.
Ephesians 5:15,
Just a minute.
21.
Walking in what?
Walking in the Spirit, living in the Word.
How can you do that?
You can do it.
I bet we'll find out that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
You will.
Okay.
You will.
Now let's go back over that Friday. Your services start. I mean, that's when we start the anniversary celebration.
On the 27th, it starts at 7:30.
7:30 p.m.
Okay.
Well, it's
Okay.
just a 3-day celebration.
2 days.
Oh, just when?
Friday and
Friday
Sunday.
night and Sunday afternoon.
Okay, well, go back over it for us.
Okay, on Friday night, the Greater Mount Olive Baptist Church, Reverend A.G. Woodbury.
Okay. Got
St.
that.
John Missionary Baptist Church, Reverend M.L. Jemison.
Got that.
Paradise Baptist Church, Reverend F.D. Roseborough.
Okay.
Holy United Baptist Church, Reverend Ricky Patton.
Oh my goodness.
And the guest speaker on Wednesday night is Reverend Glenn
On Wednesday night. On Wednesday night.
On Friday.
I'm sorry, on Friday night.
Thank you.
Is Reverend Glenn A. Woodbury.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness. Okay, that sounds exciting.
Okay, now.
you have to come early to be able to get there with all those churches and these new members too.
Well, that's good.
Well, somebody's just called us and say Reverend Mitch is a young man. Is that true?
That's right.
How old was he when he became the pastor?
30 years old.
You mean to tell me you all had a 30-year-old
We
person?
had a 30-year-old man, and we could tell of his anointment. To be in Reverend Mitchell's presence is just a joy. You can feel the Spirit whenever you talk to him. He always has something positive to say to you.
Okay, well, thank you so very kindly, Mr. Gates.
I'm looking forward to that, Brother Gates. Okay, we're happy you called, and we'd like to hear from Brother Mitchell next week again before the anniversary.
No, I want to hear from him after
You want
the anniversary.
after the
I want to see.
what the
I
anniversary
want to
like.
see what they did for us.
Okay.
Boy, if you had a pastor a pastor that has brought in 600 members in how many years did he say?
He said
6 years.
In 6 years, that's 100 members a year.
That's right.
Well, I know some churches that are looking for a pastor. Do you have a recommendation of how they can borrow your pastor for
No,
6 years?
there's no way. God sent him there, and we're going to keep him right there at the top of the Baptist church.
God might send him to some other churches that are vacant. You can't ever tell.
Yeah, that's
Well,
right.
thank you, Mr. Gates.
Wait a minute, Miss Luper. I
Yes,
have something
okay,
else to say.
okay, I'm waiting.
Okay, I wanted to wish Mrs. Hunter a happy birthday. I tried to call the other night, but I said she probably was going on to lunch. But anyway, I want to say happy birthday to Sister Lady Ruth Hunter. And one thing about the community, on our NACP building over here, we have some young men that's working over here doing a miraculous job. Now, you know that we are we are a charitable organization, but we don't get too many donations, however. But these young men, they are roofing our building. They're doing a miraculous job. And, you know, sometimes the community could kind of pitch in and help. Now,
Just ask them. Tell them what you want. You know we're having a dinner next Saturday, a chitlin dinner, a chicken dinner, catfish dinner, taco. Just tell the community they'll help.
Okay, all I want to say, this is a daily thing. I mean, these guys doesn't have any money, and they're doing the rent. They're doing the work free. They're doing it free. So, you know, I think that if you bring them a sandwich, that's all right. But you ought to bring some type of a dinner down here for these young men. They are doing hard labor, and I took upon myself to be just one of their sponsors. I mean,
And Mrs. Gloria Matthews did the same.
Yes.
Okay.
And I feel like this, you know, Christ gave all, and I'm a giving person and a caring person. So what I did, I just took it on myself to feed them this week, and I'm just asking community or someone if they would just come by and bring a dinner. It's just for them. Bring a home-cooked meal if you possibly can, because they doesn't get this kind of food all the time.
One thing that I've got to tell the community on this week, there was a bad accident on 26th and Martin Luther King, and those men saved a man's life.
That's right.
And I think that this community should rally to them. And Mr. Gates, I want to say this. You know, we promised to put the names of the people that have made contributions on that monument. We have done that.
Yes.
And we ask the community to respond by helping us. We do need help. And I've talked to you long enough. Thank
Well,
you,
one,
Mr.
wait,
Gates.
wait,
Yes, one
sir.
more thing. Tell me one more thing.
Very important.
Okay.
On today, we will be funeralizing my oldest male cousin on my father's side, and the funeral is going to be at New Zion Baptist Church, and the barber shop will be closed from 11 o'clock until 1 o'clock, and Phil and I will be back in to render service to
You
the
didn't tell
community.
us who your cousin was.
His name is Gerald Galbraith.
Okay.
He's a deacon at the New Zion Baptist Church.
Thank you so very kind.
Okay, thanks for letting me come on this morning, Miss Luper.
Okay.
Have a blessed day.
Okay, bye-bye.
Tell Kevin hi, bye.
Bye-bye. Johnson's Jardina's is located at 1643 Northeast 50th Street in Oklahoma City. That's Johnson's Jardina's number 1. Number 2 is at 2611 North Martin Luther King in Oklahoma City. Now, it's some advantages of going to Johnson's Jardina's Daycare Center. And I would like to list those advantages for you. In the first place, you're going to a center that has a reputation, a positive reputation. You're talking about qualified people. You're talking about loving and caring people, all at Johnson's Jardina's. You're talking about books. You're talking about computers. You're talking about daycare center that's concerned about your child and the development of your child. Teaching your children basic songs, basic poems, teaching them how to stand, how to sit. Yes, they have qualified teachers, and I would ask you to do this. I would like for you to just go by Johnson's Jardina, 1643 Northeast 50th Street, and if you go by there, you will want to put your child in there. Calvin, I want to talk about Discount Carpet and Furniture Company and that big sale in 501 Northwest 23rd Street in Oklahoma City. That's a big sale at Discount Carpet and Furniture, 501 Northwest 23rd Street.
You know, Mom, I like that Discount Carpet, but the prettiest thing they have in there is some lamps. Those lamps are so beautiful, that blue lamp and a purple lamp and a black and white lamp. And you have to see it to believe it, but it's there at Discount Carpet here in Oklahoma City on Northwest 23rd and Harvey, somewhere off in there. But you'll see it because they're ready for you.
23rd and Walker.
23rd and Walker, okay. So
all at Discount
Get my information
Carpet.
right. I'm still excited about Reverend Mitchell's anniversary coming up, and Brother Gates. I didn't realize that he was related to Mr. Gilbert, but I too want to join with the family in expressing our sympathies because he was a good friend, and it was a joy being around him at any time. And I've already told Rob and everybody else, but the family, we will truly miss Mr. Gilbert. So I don't know if we'll make the services today, but we're going to try. But we're here today on another occasion. We're getting a little joy and a little sadness and a little happiness, but that's part of living. And today we're talking about Okmulgee and Mrs. Lady Ruth Hunter. I wanted to hear that story about Okmulgee, Oklahoma.
It was unbelievable. Not only that, the city of Okmulgee presented her citation. OSU at Okmulgee presented her plaques, but then the Zeta Phi Beta sorority was there. Members were there from all over the state, and Dr. Drain stood there and spoke for all of the Zetas and presented her a plaque with a clock on it, and the time was on the clock that she presented it. It was beautiful. And Dr. Drain said, well, all of the Zetas in the house stand, and Zetas from every direction in that auditorium stood. It was unbelievable.
I can't imagine that many Zetas being in Okmulgee. But
they were in Okmulgee. They came from Stillwater, they came from Langston, they came from Oklahoma City to celebrate. And Dr. Stewart was out of sight. And Calvin, she quoted some of my poems out of my book. And she
the book,
did
Behold the Walls.
Yes,
okay.
She was. And boy, it was just a family reunion because I hadn't seen her in quite a time. And there's no way in the world I would have missed seeing her. Yes?
Yeah, we have a caller here on the line. I'm
Okay,
looking forward
hello.
to talking with. Good morning. Welcome to the Clara Luper Radio Show on this Mrs. Lady Ruth Hunter's birthday.
Why, good morning,
And guess who
Mrs. Luper, and good morning to the radio audience.
And who am I talking with?
You were talking to Lady Ruth Hunter.
Oh, Miss Birthday herself. Thank you
right,
for calling.
Right,
How you doing?
Kevin.
This
This
beautiful.
is my celebration
This is
day.
a celebration
I am celebrating
day.
today.
Okay, all
And
right.
you know why I'm celebrating today. But I want to call and say congratulations to my Barbara. I don't think all the years that I've been on radio, I don't think I've ever heard my barber call in. So he called in today. So it must be a
That-
terrific affair that's going on.
It must
It
be.
must
They,
be,
they
and I know it's
got him excited about it. But then, that's one thing about Deacon Gates and Barbara Gates. Any title you want to put on it, when he gets involved, he gives it 100%.
Well, if any minister had come into this town and brought in 600 souls, I'm sure you're going to hear that program. And if they did not hear you, I hope they will. Someone will tell them, because I want to see the pastor that can bring in 600 people, and I'm sure there must be 600 young people.
Well,
He's gotten 600 young people off the
I
street.
don't know
I
if
want to
they.
say congratulations to him.
They
My
probably
hat
run
is off
all
to him,
ages.
and he must be a Christian man.
Yes, he is. They probably run all ages. But Mrs. Hunter, what do you have planned for today? I mean, what special do you
Calvin,
have?
I'm having I'm having a big celebration. I'm having my birthday.
You aren't
celebration.
having that now. Wait,
Today-
let's set the record straight. You're not doing that.
Well, there is a
Nah, that's different.
celebration.
Okay.
There is a celebration.
I can hardly wait to see what Mrs. Parr's gonna say about you,
I
cause she
know.
rode to school with you every day.
Well, that is true, and I can't hardly wait to see what all of them are going to have to say, because
I hope
most of
someone-
them have known me better than 30, and 40, and 50 years. So those are the people that I'm looking forward to seeing, because I'm sure they will be there, and that's at 1 o'clock, like Kevin.
1
and,
o'clock.
You get your camera ready. Be sure you have your
I,
picture.
I have the camera there, Mrs. Hunter.
And
I
the
just want to make
film.
sure you're there. And but I was just thinking about you in the past years that we've had an opportunity to work with you in the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant. You were there at the beginning. How we've had an opportunity to work with you at the NACP Youth Council, where you served as an advisor, a diligent advisor. This is going to be a fantastic program, because you've done a lot to help me personally, and I know hundreds of other young people in the Youth Council. And then
And,
one last thing. Mom was telling us about the number of students that you had taught. That too has been amazing. So we're really looking
You mean
forward to
tell
1
me you
o'clock.
wanna have a happy birthday way she used to fuss at you?
I have to. That fussing was just a part of her. Well, she's not through fussing with me either.
Well, no.
I know
But
there's some
this is
more
what we're
coming.
talking about. We
Okay.
do need help at the Freedom Center. We are there each Monday night, and we want some help. And then they said, Mr. Gates said, well, look like it. Who I'm calling on? I'm calling on all of those people that I rode with on the bus for the years that I rode the bus to our national convention. And we were on the bus most of the time. We was on the bus a full day and a night, and sometimes 2 nights and a full day. So those are the people that I am wanting
Well, I
to
want those
look in
people.
on us. And if every one of those parishes would just send us $1, you'd be surprised at the money we would receive to help with the Freedom Center.
Okay.
And go by and see what is going on.
Okay, I'm gonna have to let you go because I've got to get ready for my Black History story.
Okay, bye now.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Thank you, Mrs. Hunter, and happy birthday to you, Mom. But we're going to the lady that spoke in Okmulgee. Now, did you tell everybody where she's from and what all she did? What some of her
Yeah, Tommy
accomplishments?
Stewart is a movie star. She's a television star. She's head of the Fine Arts Department at Alabama A&M University. But I told everybody she's a Zeta, and the Zetas responded last night. I do have a story. When we look at Black History Month, and certainly we shall be looking at it, I will be at McGuinness High School this week. I will be at Douglas High School this week. I will be with the Department of Correction this week. I will be with Jones School this week. But most of all, I'll be telling stories of our forefathers. I will be telling them about the strength of our people. I will be telling them about the faith of our people. We've had some gloomy days, but we have history to back us up. It was gloomy. It was a gloomy day when John was banished to the Isle of Patmos. He had no friends and seemingly no hope. But John, out of a limitless well of optimism, cried out, I was in the spirit on the Lord's day. It was gloomy for King David. He was at his best, not sitting on his throne, wearing robes of purple and gold, but rather in the 23rd Psalms, as he passed through the valley of the shadow of death, he cried out, I will fear no evil. Yes, it was gloomy for Paul. It looks like the world has turned against him. And in that time, Paul cried out, I glory in my infirmity. It was gloomy for this young man that I'm going to tell you about. Because I continue to tell you that history is nothing but a long story. Sometimes it's written and sometimes it's unwritten. And today I'm going to tell you about a young man who was born 9 years after the beginning of the 20th century. And a young man that devoted his life to something that was bigger than you can even imagine. A young man that came out of a family of 11 children, born to William Posey and Sally Austin Posey in Highland, Texas, in a little county known as Lamar County. I would like to tell you that this young man's name was Weldon, and when Weldon was 13 years old, he lost his father. He felt a strong responsibility toward his mother and his sisters. However, there was little that he could do to protect the family from the reality that confronted a black family in rural Texas in the 1920s, immediately after his father's death. There were some gloomy days. The creditors foreclosed on the family home and the surrounding farmland. Sally and the children were forced to move to what had been a rent house and join those tenant farmers in Texas. The family, however, was blessed with a mother, 5 feet tall and less than 100 pounds. And they say that in times of crisis, she would smoke a pipe. But of all that she did, she held the family together. She didn't know how to run a family business, and thus she was unable to work and to understand what the local whites were doing to her in that community. Finally, she lost. But during that time, she provided leadership and moral strength as the family moved on to its new lifestyle. The Posies had a strong commitment to education. Weldon attended school during his early years in Highland. He followed his brother to Texas College on a baseball scholarship. After finishing all of the schooling that was available for colored in Highland. After a year, however, he returned home to help with the family farming. There was one thing that was important as we look at black history today in the lives of the Posies, and that was religion. Sally and the children were active members of the Sydney Chapel Colored Methodist Episcopal Church. However, later on, Weldon was baptized in the John Chapel Baptist Church in Highland, Texas. In 1929, you remember that year, it was gloomy because that was the year of the Great Depression, and the crop failure created another problem. And during that period, Weldon had fallen in love with a beautiful young lady whose father was a schoolmaster in the community of Roxton. The crop had failed, and that meant even less income, but Weldon Posey was thinking about love, and he asked Alma to marry him. And she refused on the first request because things were too bad. However, spring turned into summer, and summer into fall, and fall into winter. And finally, Weldon married Alma on October the 3rd, 1931. He could not afford a place for his lovely bride to live along with him, so he moved his bride into the family home. Well, Weldon's interests and talents were not in farming. He and Vertina followed their Aunt Melindy to Muskogee. However, there things were gloomy. He was unable to find employment, and they returned to Highland and to farming. But by the fall of 1939, the economy had improved, and the mailman brought good news. Bertina's brother Leroy had found a job for Weldon at the Oklahoma Furniture Company in Oklahoma City. When he received that letter, he jumped up in the cotton patch, put down his cotton sack in the middle of the field, and ran to the house to pick his bag. He did not even weigh his cotton. After a few months, Weldon sent for Vertina, and they established life together in Oklahoma City that continued for years. He became an active member and a deacon at the Fifth Street Baptist Church. Two lovely young ladies were born, Alma Faye and Barbara Ann. Well, in 1945, at the end of World War II, Oklahoma Furniture moved to Guthrie, Oklahoma. And at that time, Weldon Posey had become a foreman. He made a decision to stay in Oklahoma, and he took a job with Buck's Sporting Goods. And at last, he had found his love. This was an ideal place of employment for a baseball player who loved children. Oh, he could deliver equipment to local schools, and he got to know all of the athletes around. He became involved in sporting goods and salesmen and handling large accounts. He was involved in the East Side YMCA, and one of the highlights of his life was a Little League baseball. And he called those little boys my baseball players. Yes, what is Black history all about? It's about the Weldon Posies. It was about the fact that he allowed his two daughters to become the first sit-ins on that hot August night in 1958. But what is important about a man that did not have the advantages that so many of us had? I think it's important what happens afterwards. What has happened to Barbara Posey, his daughter? What has happened to Alma Faye Posey? And she likes for people to call her Alma, but I'm calling her Alma Faye Posey. What happened to them? And what happened to their children? Well, I'm going to tell you. And I want you to remember this because this is truly Black history. This is Black history in its real form. Weldon Posey's daughter Barbara is now the dean of the School of Business at Alabama A&M University. Her husband is a distinguished professor at Clark in Atlanta, Georgia. And her children, I got to tell you about them. One is in New York, working in a position that we have never had blacks in before. He has given up he gave up a job to go and work for Prentice Hall. She has another son that's studying at Clark Atlanta University. She is, I told you that she is, I could go on. And let me tell you about Alma, who's an attorney in Oklahoma City. Not only that, she is a trustee for the Zeta Phi Beta sorority. And I could tell you about Alan Washington, who works as a service specialist. But Calvin, I want to tell you that today I've given you some real Black history because it's a story of Weldon Burnett Posey, who lived and proved beyond a shadow of a doubt what a person can do. Calvin?
Mom, this has been a fantastic show. I've really enjoyed it. I've gotten a couple of calls while you were going over Mr. Posey's real Black history, and everybody's just really listening, and they're excited that we're approaching the Black history theme like that. But tell me a little more about what some of the things are coming up this week.
Well, this week I'll be at Douglas High School. I'll be at McGinnis High School. I'll be at the Department of Correction. I'll be at Jones. But you can get some flowers at Exotic Florist, 3620 North Lincoln Boulevard. You may call 528-7659. Prove that you love her. Give her some flowers. Javon's Style Shop, 4801 North Lincoln in Oklahoma City. Leo's Barbecue, operated by Barbecue Charlie, 4th and Harrison in Oklahoma City. And don't forget to go to Beauty Inn where you can see Eugene. Calvin, it's time for you to sing happy birthday, and I want you to sing it for Lady Ruth Hunter.
Oh, I got it.
I want you to sing it for my little niece, that little pretty girl out to Langston University, Crystal LaCrosse. And I want you to sing it. Tell me who all you're going to sing
Mom,
it
I have
for.
a lot of
Calvin,
people.
I want you to sing it.
I almost
with
had a
real
concert
meaning.
this week, and the people sent me a deposit to be at the concert. That was on Monday, and then they came by Friday and wanted their money back. I don't know what's happening with that. Well, maybe something good would happen. But this is a special week, and I want to say a happy birthday to Rhonda Harding, to Crystal Lacrosse, who's out at Langston University and is working hard trying to graduate from Langston. And she's my dear, beautiful cousin, Emma June Green, and especially to Mrs. Letty Ruth Hunter. And so sit back, relax, and tell a friend and neighbor to enjoy this, because this is truly a happy day and a happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rhonda, Christelia, Emma Jean, and Mrs. Letty Ruth Hunter. And may you have many, many more.
Calvin, I think that you better stick to electricity. How's your electrical business?
Oh, the business is going good, Mom. But I just want everyone to know I am available for concerts. I only had one song that I know well, and
That's happy birthday.
Happy birthday. And if I get the deposit this time, I'm not giving it back. So I don't want any more repeats of that. But then it's good. So I'm looking forward to those calls coming in and inviting the weekend singers to be a part of whatever celebration they're having.
I was so overcome with my sorority sister in Okmulgee. I said, well, I got to take some pictures, and I brought some pictures back of Dr. Tommy Stewart, and congratulations. Those
you
of
didn't
you
tell everybody that, we had an opportunity to meet her here at the Soul Bazaar one year.
we brought her here one year. But Miss Black Okmulgee will be tonight at 7 o'clock, and you have 7 outstanding women will be honored. Those of you that are signing up for Miss Black Oklahoma City, you've got to sign before March the 1st. Those of you that want to be pages, you've got to sign up. Those of you that want to be escorts, because let me tell you something, you haven't seen anything until you see that. And Calvin, I'm real happy because we have Brother President, the story of Dr. Martin Luther King, and they are going like hotcakes. If you would like VCR, call me at 424-3949, and you can see Brother President that was made by students in college, and it was produced by college professors.
Mom, where will you be at 1 o'clock today?
At 1 o'clock, I'll be at the luncheon. I'll be with Letty Ruth Hunter. The celebration.
Letty Ruth
It's
Hunter
a
special
celebration.
daytime. Oh, I forgot to mention, Mrs. Gardner has a dinner that she'll be having tomorrow at the King David Lodge, and that starts at
That's her
7:30.
birthday.
That's her birthday dinner.
Okay.
So good things are happening. Hey, you have any closing words for us?
I would like to say for you people to stay out of trouble. Many of you call me after you get in trouble. Call me before you get in trouble. And remember, join Clara Luper's fan club. You don't have to pay any dues. All you have to do is just stay out of trouble, read books, and love everybody. And you're a member of my club, and I'm going to have some cards ready for you. Clara Luper is saying, I do love you. Bye-bye, and happy birthday, Letty. You deserve it. You have a day. Bye-bye.
This is AM 1220, KTLV, Midwest City, Oklahoma City.